Our mantra is compelling, dramatic stories.
We're gonna take care of you, okay?
And touching on issues in healthcare that people may not have considered.
You don't know what I've been through.
You fucking stole drugs from the hospital.
When we're thinking about the stories we tell,
I can add thousands of dollars to the $100,000 I already owe.
But can you stay for at least 12 hours?
Every minute I stay is a meal.
all we have to do is look around, see what's going on in the world.
Somebody dumped their kid.
I've never understood drug addiction.
Is this a panic attack because of your mommy issues?
What? No.
Internal disaster at Westbridge has been identified as a cyber attack.
Are we next?
Suddenly the computers go down. It's like the end of the world these days.
Hey, somebody get a picture of the board.
What we decided was that with 2 other hospitals down and 1,000 intrusion attempts an hour for our electronic health record system, we would shut down preemptively.
So we are going old school, analog.
For how long?
Great question. We thought this was something we could explore without it feeling too stunty or unnatural.
It can really affect patient care, especially if the hospital isn't prepared for it.
It added so much more chaos to everything.
How are we going to get through this mess?
I was about to ask you.
It really shows how much technology is part of a hospital in a way that's so important.
This is the dark ages.
I think one of the big themes this season is us talking through things like health insurance, cuts to Medicaid, cuts to Medicare.
There are so many millions who lack health insurance, lack primary care.
Staying here is going to cost more than we can afford.
You agree to stay on the insulin drip, and I'll go find our case manager to discuss cost-cutting options for your stay.
I don't think someone should not get the medication they need or not get a procedure they need because they can't afford it.
Whatever kind of medicine we've chosen, whether it's mental health issues or women's health issues, you start with the truth and you speak to the experts.
You're in a safe place now.
The more that the nurses talk to me, the more that I can understand how they feel and their perspective about the patient.
A real sexual assault nurse examiner was there for every moment of every scene.
Why don't you give me your description of exactly what happened?
I think a lot of what I'm looking for when I interview nurses is the kind of tone of their response to the work.
How you feeling? I wish this day never happened.
You have to be very solid so that the patient can have their feelings.
He was drunk. He didn't mean... Okay, why don't you take a breather and come back, and whatever you want to do, we'll do.
There's a lot of feelings about Dana being attacked and the patient being attacked. There was like a little bit of a projection and a kind of compassion, but also really rooting for them to take care of themselves.
This is a workplace where you're exposed to a whole bunch of trauma that would put most people on their butt for years.
I think you've done enough. You can go.
Langdon has spent the last 10 months sort of coming to terms with the wound that necessitated the addiction.
To see the process that a healthcare provider has to go through is pretty dramatic, but most of all, resetting your attitude about really life.
I'm really glad that you got the help that you need, but I don't know if I want you working in my ER. Langdon, having faced some of his inner demons and coming back, in some ways is a terrifying prospect to a guy like Robbie, who has not begun that journey. Everybody that comes to work presents a persona that they want to be viewed as. You have to think of these walls like a force field. You cannot let anything in. But it's a bit of an armor. You don't really want to reveal your flaws. And you want your mask to stay on tight. And over the course of this shift, everybody's mask starts to slip a little bit.
Have you ever thought about hurting yourself?
The Pitt is kind of holding a mirror up to our society.
All these stories are important to tell, and we just tried to do it as truthfully as possible.
We do what we can to provide the best care to traumatized people in their darkest days.
These people are working in a broken healthcare system, and the toll it takes on them is very real, and this is a real reflection.